Doreen Thomas was born on the 30th of September 1934 in Brisbane, the only child of parents Kath and Len. She began her career in the performance arts at a very early age.
I was about 3. I won a screen test with the late Charles Chevelle, but we didn't take up the option because they wanted me to be able to travel with them without my parents, and my parents weren't in favour of that at all, for which I could understand.
At age 4, she started dance, the very basis for her life work.
About 4 when I started dance with Miss Elsie Seegers, and then I followed that career right through, and that was my goal. I was a member of the Peters Pals radio unit for many years. We did shows every week in and around Brisbane and travelling throughout the state. That was for Peter's Ice Cream. We were very involved with the Stedfords, as you could imagine, and we travelled in Queensland, locally and interstate for competing.
She remained at school whilst training in dance.
Educated at St Ida's Primary School at Dutton Park, followed by high school at St Ursula's College. I studied piano, violin, speech and drama, and after leaving school I continued my piano studies with a man named Will Stay, and my speech and drama with the late Jean Trundle, who was the instigator of the birth of the Brisbane Arts Theatre. I was secretary to G. James Glass and Aluminium for many years, after leaving school at 15 because I wanted to follow my dance career.
She grew up studying dance at an intense level, completing her elementary ballet exam for RAD at just 10 years old, and began student teaching as a teenager.
I had 3 offers from J.C. Williams to tour with them. Again, my parents were not happy about my leaving home without them. I was only about 15 when I first started, and then for the next couple of years I performed with them here in Brisbane, in Whitehorse Inn, the Merry Widow, and also I performed with the opera companies in Don Giovanni, and Lucia de Lammermoor, with the Interstate Opera Company.
She married at age 22.
Married in 1957 to a wonderful man named Clary Lee, who also had a theatrical background.
The same year, she opened her dance school, the Doreen Thomas Academy of Dances. The Academy celebrates its 55th anniversary this year and remains open to this day.
I opened my dance school in 1957, the Doreen Thomas Academy of Dance. I was trained in RAD to solo seal standard, and am a life member of the RAD, being one of the youngest in the world to have this honour. Just in the beginning, just on the back veranda of our house, I had a few students, and then I started in a little hall in the valley outside St Patrick's Church, where I used to go there 4 days a week. Then I eventually expanded out to Luckwich at Gumdale, but now I only have 2 areas now, and that is Norman Park, where I've been for many years, and Wilston. I've had lots of successful students who have gone on to greater things, and I have enjoyed teaching all these years. Yes, both I like teaching, and I do enjoy examining. I was invited by EDTA. I was an examiner prior to that, but the EDTA invited me to examine for them, and when they opened that society, and I accepted.
She is also a mother.
I have 2 sons, Greg, who followed a musical career with the Australian Army, drummer and clarinet player, and Damien has been heavily involved in theatre since almost before he was born, and is still performing.
Her husband, Clary, passed away in 1990.
Fortunately, very sadly, he passed away in 1990, very suddenly, which left a very big hole in our lives. Yeah.
Her proudest moment is choreographing and presenting 40 students in the 1982 Commonwealth Games opening ceremony.
proud to have the only Australian students in the opening ceremony of the 1982 Commonwealth Games.
She has travelled all over Australia and overseas to America and Europe.
Well, basically, pretty much lots of the states of Australia. I've been in pretty much all capital cities except Darwin, examining. I've been in Perth, I've been in Melbourne and Adelaide and Sydney. America twice, to the States. We've been to England, Scotland, France, Italy, Germany, Denmark, Norway.
Miss Thomas and her son Damien currently run the Stage Door Dinner Theatre at Bowen Hills.
Reception was in 2002, and our first show was The Odd Couple, and it's been, we've done work. We work 48 weeks of the year with shows. We do 5 shows a year, plus the pantomimes and special events, etc.
Miss Thomas has contributed a large part of her life to the performing arts and dance community of Brisbane.
I've had a very, very vivid and colourful life. I've done an awful lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't regretted it.